listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sassy Seniors. I'm your host, Kelly Jackson, where we celebrate the fabulousness of our more mature cats and dogs. I want to share a quick story with you before we take a quick break. I was chatting with a friend of mine the other day. She was complaining about how her younger dog always gets into things, her clothes, shoes, scratching furniture, and I was bragging about how my dog Miko, who was 13, he hasn't done that in years. And so I went on to say, how senior pets are calm and laid back and, they're past those puppy years. 3 days later, no lie, I get home to find the entire contents of my bathroom trash can all over the floor. And all I could do, of course, was laugh about it. It just goes to show you how our senior pets are still very curious and mischievous. So don't ever count them out. We kind of love it. We're going to have a great show today. We have award-winning lifestyle pet photographer Seth Casteel. He's on deck. He's going to tell us how to get the best out of your photographs of your pets. And later in the show, we have the guardian of YouTube sensation, Ginger, the Golden Retriever. So stick around. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Hey, boy, how you doing? What am I doing? I'm creating your own life book. It's a website that's just for you. Remember that picture I took of you pulling off Lisa's bathing suit? Yeah, I know, me too. I'm putting that awesome picture on your life book page. We'll see what comments we get. And that great video we took of you standing on the table with your head inside the turkey? That's definitely going on there. No, it's easy. It only took me 2 minutes to set up your page. I chose a great theme, and I can connect with millions of other pet parents. I can also create a memorial life book. No, not for Grandma, but we can make one for Fluffy, remember her? And we can even put links to our favorite pet charity, and friends can make donations. People can create their own life book for their pets by going to petliferadio.livingyearspets.com, or they can sign up on the Pet Life Radio homepage. Where's Lisa? She's outside by the pool. Hey, come back here! Create your own life book for your pet. petliferadio.livingyearspets.com.
Attention passengers, please fasten your seatbelts, put your seat bags and sleeping pets in their full upright position, and prepare for takeoff.
Pet Life Radio presents Travel Tales, the show where you'll get great travel ideas on perfect places for you and your pet. From Paris to paradise, south of the border to the South Seas, Travel Tales will give you cool tips on fun vacation destinations to travel with your pet, pet-friendly hotels, and advice on how to travel safely and happily with your furry best friends. So, get ready to pack the bags and the bones with your Travel Tales hosts, Susan Sims and Nicholas Veslowski, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sassy Seniors. I'm your host, Kelly Jackson, and I am so pleased to have Seth Casteel. He is an award-winning lifestyle pet photographer. He's been featured everywhere. His work is Dog World, Dog Fancy Magazine, Tales Pet Magazine, and he's also the owner of Little Friends Photo. Thanks for joining us, Seth.
Hey, thanks so much, Kelly. Happy to be here.
I got to tell you, when I look at your pet photography, truly amazing pictures. How did you get started?
Well, I grew up always just surrounded by animals. I had a miniature dachshund named Duchess for 17 years, and she kind of, I think she really got me started down this path. I didn't really know it at the time, but I know that she did, and I had all kinds of other pets growing up as well. But it didn't really occur to me until I was living in Australia several years ago and started working with animals and photography there. But I thought, hey, maybe I want to do this as a career. So I started working with animals photography in Australia, mostly wildlife. Came back here to Los Angeles, didn't see a lot of wallabies running around downtown. So ended up adopting a dog from the local shelter named Madison and started photographing her, and it just all started to make sense from there. Started photographing her and then started getting into some volunteer work with the local shelters, and now this is what I do full time.
I do want to talk about the kind of the project that you have with a local shelter in LA. You know, it's so important when you're thinking of adopting a pet. You know, when you look at those pets, they sometimes are often coming in from puppy mills or other bad circumstances. So once they clean them up, and you really capture them in such a great light.
Yeah, well, I try to go in and take a glamour shot. I mean, for all the pets coming into a shelter, they all have, I can almost call them a mug shot. You know, the pet comes into the shelter. It's unclear what the circumstances are. Oftentimes, you know, the pet could be, you know, not feeling well. They could be frightened. Not ideal situation for, a smile, really. And then the people that are taking the pictures don't spend a lot of time to take a great picture. They don't necessarily have the right equipment or the skill set. So what I try to do is go in, the proper equipment, the proper skill set, you know, make sure that the pets are feeling comfortable and have a good time, and we spend some time and try to get a picture that really captures their personality so that we can find them a forever home. And really, at the end of the day, if we can do that, it just makes such a difference in saving their life.
Well, I know you don't want to probably take responsibility for probably being responsible for, you know, helping adopt many of those pets, but I'm sure that you are responsible in many ways for doing that. So hats off to you for that.
Well, I'm happy to help. Thank you. It's a team effort. You know, I work at the West LA shelter and the South LA shelter, and then a number of rescues. But it's a team effort. There's so many people involved in this process. I'm one of many, and I'm happy to help out however I can. So
I got to ask you, as I look at some of the photos that you take, and you know, my show is about celebrating senior pets, and you were sending me some photos to look at. Okay, there was one of a 12-year-old dog who is surfing. Surfer dog. How in the heck did you get that photo?
That's Buddy. He's a 12-year-old Jack Russell Terrier with a passion for life and a passion for surfing. And he's just an absolutely incredible dog. And that's taken up in Ventura, California. The water was pretty chilly that day for me. Buddy was fine. But I'm actually out there with a professional underwater camera housing that I had rented to test out. So I'm actually out there where it's probably 40 yards off the beach, and I'm out there floating around with a 45-pound camera that I'm holding up above my head, and he's literally surfing by as fast as he can. So he's probably going 10 miles an hour on this wave, and it's one of those things, Kelly, where you put yourself in the position, you snap away, and you hope that you get something good, because I mean, the water's chilly, I'm out there, it's deep, the camera's really heavy, he's cruising by full speed, and it's one of those shots that's just 1 out of 1,000, or maybe even 1 out of 100,000, I don't know, but I love the picture.
Well, it was fabulous, as are all of your photos. Now, you shoot photos of celebs, you know, and their pets, and also of the civilians, I call them, regular people. Any memorable? I know you have millions of photos, probably. What are some of your memorable photography shoots?
Oh, well, you know, I do some work with celebrities, celebrity dogs, and also celebrities. I've done some work with Marley from Marley and Me, and the dogs from Beverly Hills, Chihuahua. And I've been fortunate living here in Los Angeles. I get to meet a lot of people through my work, which is fun. So the cast of Twilight, and work with the cast of Glee, and I've just recently met Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer, and Ellen DeGeneres. But for me, it's just about working with pets and their people. So regardless of who it is, I'm really more excited about just the everyday pets and the people. So that's what it is about for me.
Any diva dogs?
You know, it comes up.
You don't have to name names.
Diva. You know, sometimes you come across dogs that may be not in the mood for a photo shoot. There was a dog, a senior dog, Chihuahua, named Esquivel, and he just really wasn't that interested in photos. He wasn't interested in much of anything. So we're at the park. I'm trying to figure out what is my angle here to get this good photo, and I don't want to stress him out. So I want to get a great photo, but I don't want to upset him, because it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the photo shoot. It's supposed to be fun, and we're supposed to get some good photos. So ultimately, just with some patience, we figured out that there was a little French bulldog at the park, that Esquivel had never met before. And he met this French Bulldog and just was in love with this French Bulldog. So we kept the French Bulldog around the whole shoot, and Esquivel would do all kinds of fun things after that. So the pictures turned out to be amazing because of this little French Bulldog.
Very clever on your end.
You never know what's going to happen to get that good photo. But fortunately, this little Frenchie was there.
I love that. Hey, Seth, can you share with our listeners some tips on how they can actually capture some amazing shots of their own pets?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would tell people that the biggest few tips I have is winning attitude equals winning photos. So you got to go in with a good positive spirit, good positive energy, and know that it's going to take some time. It's going to take some patience. Ultimately, pets are going to do what they're going to do, and you just got to realize that. And if you get frustrated because you're not getting the right picture, that's not going to help. So I tell people, hey, you know what? If your dog or your cat isn't going to sit still and pose for the camera, then try to take a picture of them doing something that they want to do. And I think you're going to end up with a much better photo in the long run. So yeah, winning attitude, have lots of patience, shoot lots of photos. It's just kind of the nature of it. I shoot a lot of photos in the way I do my work because you never know where you're going to get that fraction of a second moment, that funny expression that you may not even notice by the human eye. But later when you're looking through your photos, you'll say, gee whiz, look at that. I didn't even notice that at the time. So shoot lots of photos, treats, toys, squeakers, anything you can get, your pet's attention with is always a good thing. And I would say, what makes your pet unique? What is it about your pet that's just absolutely captivating? And try to find a way to tell that story in a photo or a series of photos, because ultimately I think those photos have the most meaning to all of us.
I think that your photos do tell stories, too.
Well, thanks. I try to do that. I try to get to know my clients, as I call them, and figure out, hey, what can I say in a picture that best represents this pet and their unique personality? And I really do my best to do that.
Hey, Seth, you're kind of doing a tour across country, too, because I know that you were here in St. Louis several weeks ago. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm going on a national photography tour. The first time I've been traveling, really, for my work. So I'm visiting cities all across the country to work with pets and their people. So I've been to Chicago, St. Louis, D.C. I'm leaving for Miami tonight, in the Bahamas, and then Atlanta. And then this fall I'll be going around to a few other places as well. So it's just been a lot of fun. I've been here in Los Angeles and Orange County, but it's just so great to have an opportunity to work with pets and their people all across the country. I just think it's so much fun. There's just so many people and pets to work with and great locations. So it's cool. And part of my tour is a volunteer element. So I'm working with local shelters around the country and photographing pets that need forever homes. So that's one element. I'm also teaching workshops to people that might be interested in volunteering about how to take better pictures of shelter pets. So that's a really important thing for me, and trying to teach other people what I've learned to help pets find homes.
And I love that. I love that you are working with shelters across the country, too. That is so great. Well, Seth, anything else that you would like to add before we wrap up our conversation?
I just want to say, I was going to say a couple quick memorable shoots. Maybe I'll give you one more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I did a shoot recently with 2 miniature dachshunds, and this is just off the top of my head. I mean, all my shoots are just so much fun, and they're all memorable in their own special way, but I really enjoy watching relationships between people and their pets, and to see that, they're always unique, is just really kind of extraordinary. But I also like watching relationships between pets and other pets. Mm-hmm. And, this is a story, it's real quick, but 2 sisters, Roxy and Molly, they're miniature dachshunds, and I had a chance to work with them a couple of weeks ago. But just to watch their relationship, sisters from the same litter, and they're inseparable. So I took a photograph of them. You couldn't really separate the 2 dachshunds because they're so fascinated with each other and just so in love with each other. But there's a picture on my website, and they're sitting next to each other, and inevitably, if you sit them next to each other, after a few seconds, one of them is going to kiss the other one. So there's this picture of them, and one of them's Molly's kissing Roxy, and Roxy looks like she's laughing. And the picture for me, and since I had a mini dachshund growing up, I just absolutely love it, but it just really kind of tells the story of their relationship and how they absolutely just love each other and are inseparable. So if you have a chance to look at that, it's on my website. I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Oh, my gosh, that sounds so cute. And I've got to ask you this also. Your 2 dogs, Nala and Madison, are they always camera ready?
You know what? They are. I mean, Madison is a finished spitz. She's about 5 years old. I've got a million pictures of her, and she really got me started on this whole thing with taking pictures of dogs especially. And then Nala is I think a mini Labradoodle. She's also from the pound. She might be a cockadoodle-doo, which I tell people is part Cocker Spaniel, part Poodle, part Lab, and part Rooster. But she actually has been earning her keep. So she appears in the Labradoodle calendars, and she's been in a number of magazines and so forth, too. So she's earned her keep, and I'm so proud of her. But, you know, what's funny, Kelly, she's just so modest about the whole thing. You know, she's never bragging to her friends. She's never doing any of that. She just pretends like it didn't even happen.
I love it. Are they ever like, okay, seriously, do you have to take another photo of me? Or do they ever get diva-ish to themselves?
I I always have my camera out. So they're pretty used to me and the camera, but I think they're probably thinking, oh, geez, another photo. But,
Exactly.
I give them treats. So they're probably okay with it.
Oh, Seth, this is such a pleasure talking to you. And again, your next stop is Miami.
Next stop is Miami and all of South Florida. So I'm going to be there really starting August. Well, I'll be there August, say, 19th through the end of the month, through the 30th. I'll be there for about 12 days. Is
there still an opportunity for people to, if they want to have a sitting with you?
Yeah. I'm pretty much booked up, but I might have a few spots here and there. So I'll be between Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca Raton, West Palm Beach. I'll be out in Naples for a couple of days as well. And then I'm off to Atlanta in the last part of August and early part of September. So I'll be there as well if anybody's in Atlanta that wants to do a shoot. But I'm real excited. I haven't been to Florida in a long time, and just really excited to go do some work down there.
I'll bet you'll get some great photos there. It's such a pretty place. And if people want to check out your work, they can always go to your website also, littlefriendsphoto.com.
Absolutely. And I've also got a Facebook fan page. If you go to my website, you can get to my Facebook page, but I always post new pictures and stories, and feel free to post your pictures of your pets on there as well.
Fabulous. Well, Seth, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, Kelly. I really appreciate it.
And thanks for sharing your fabulous photography tips as well. We appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. I hope they've been helpful.
Okay. Have a good one.
Okay, you too. Take care.
And when we come back from the break, we're going to talk to a celeb. She has just been so famous on YouTube. Millions of hits. I'm telling you, she's received millions of hits. She's called Ginger, and her fame is Breakfast at Ginger. And we're going to talk to one of her guardians when we come back from the break. So stay tuned.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Silvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
Greetings, humans. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at petplanetmagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. Oh Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sassy Seniors. I'm your host, Kelly Jackson, and our next guest is Scott Withers. He is the pet father, I guess you could say, of a very now famous golden retriever. Her name is Ginger, and if you haven't seen this video and the other video or videos of Ginger, you have to see it. She has millions of hits on YouTube. It's gone viral. And her first video was Breakfast at Ginger's. And Scott Withers joins us right now. Hello, Scott. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kelly. Thank you very, very much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm going to briefly explain, but I really want you to explain. The premise is Ginger, your dog, is at the table, and she's basically eating and drinking with human hands and arms. So you take it away from there.
Yep, and that's as crazy as it sounds. That's about as accurately as you can put it. She is a great subject for movies. She listens. She smiles. She winks. She does all the things that we were hoping she would do, and it was just a fun thing. You know, I tell people. And I have to give all the credit to my wife, who is the most fun-loving person I've ever met. And she said to me after about, gosh, I don't know how many times she's seen similar movies on YouTube and said, we should try that with Ginger, And in a typical husband way, I said, sure, yeah, we'll get right on that. And she, was persistent. Another week went by. She said, "Oh, we got to do this," And then 2 weeks go by. I come up from the basement, and she has all the stuff there. She's got the table. She's got the flowers. Ginger's sitting there panting and, smiling, and she says, "Come on, it'll be fun. It'll be a blast. We'll shoot it. All you got to do is hold the camera, and we'll do it." And I thought, this is great. And our kids got into it. And the truth of the matter is, I have to say, 40 minutes from when we started filming went by before it was on YouTube. I mean, we did maybe 3 takes. Mm-hmm. We took what we thought was the cutest one, found some cute piano music, and put it to it, and we put it up on YouTube, and we just were amazed at the reception. It's really kind of cool.
And it's hilarious. I love the music. I love the little laugh track, and it just the marriage of all of it just goes so well together. Okay, so whose arms were you using? Were those your wife's, Barb's?
Yep, those are my wife's arms, and she, amazingly enough, she has not been contacted by any hand modeling agencies. I console her every now and then, but yeah, those were Barb's arms. She did a great job, I thought, don't you?
Oh, she did a fabulous job. Yes. Now, okay, how did you get Ginger to sit there for that long?
Well, the funny thing is, maybe one day we'll release the raw footage with the audio, but it's funny. Actually, she is very good. She's a great dog. Yeah. Every now and then, she'll look down at the food and we'll say, "No, stay, stay." And she did, she's good. But I think honestly, she's come to learn that once we well, after a while anyway. Once we pulled that coffee table out, and she knew, hey, I'm going to get food in a minute, so I better just sit and do what they tell me, and good things will happen, you know?
I love it. Okay, so just so our listeners know, there are parts where your wife lifts up her arm and puts a coffee cup to Ginger's mouth. What is actually in that coffee mug?
Well, I'm giving away trade secrets here.
Liquor?
But,
no, just kidding.
yeah, Bloody Mary. No, we sweeten the deal with a little bit of peanut butter on the inside edge of the mug.
Ooh, clever, Scott.
Yeah,
very clever.
She loved it.
Well, here's the deal. Not only do you have breakfast at Ginger's, but you also have wine tasting with Ginger, right? And wasabi and Ginger.
Yes. Yep, the hits just keep on coming, don't they?
They just keep on coming. Now, you are also planning another video shoot, correct? Are you in the midst of it right now?
Yeah, there's a few of them, that we're trying to get on the shooting schedule, as it were. And there's a few,
are they getting longer to shoot, or do you find that people want more, so you have to be really creative? Are they taking longer to shoot? Or are they still around 40 minutes? Or
oh no, they're longer, and it's the funny thing is that breakfast at Ginger's was so. I think what made it strike such a chord with people is just I don't know if honesty is the right word, or just innocence, or what. But I think the fact that it was something that fell together so easily and so effortlessly and so innocently and honestly that it just comes through in the video. And of course, having done it, we sat back and go, then obviously your thoughts are, we could have her do X and Y and Z, and things like that. And I think what the trick is to not make it be such an effort and such a production, I think. To make them. They're fun and they're cute, and people will find them funny, and we certainly do. But I think that the magic of the first one was in its effortlessness. It's
Well, Ginger, my show is about senior pets, and of course I had to make the exception and have you guys on. I know Ginger is not a senior; she's 4, right? She's 4 years old,
right?
But she's obviously very charming, and I love how golden retrievers, I always say, they're always smiling. But what is her personality like? Is she just always so easygoing? And
oh yeah, she's she is always easygoing and loving and calm around the house until the doorbell rings, of course.
And then she's Cujo.
Then she goes berserk. And I'd love to tell you that when we took her for walks, she was nice and cute and calm. But unfortunately, Ginger's one of those dogs that should be in an Iditarod race, because she pulls us along, and it's kind of funny. It's not too bad, but we always look across the street at the other people's, walking their dogs, and they're also, sedate and calm, and we're like, man, Ginger, when are you gonna get to be that way?
That's what I love about it, because on the video, she's so well composed and just quite the actress. So I love that off camera she's really quite rambunctious. I think that's just perfect. So, hey, have these videos caught the attention of Hollywood yet? I know you guys live in southeastern Michigan, right?
Right, yeah. Yeah, well, Hollywood, I guess, in the sense that she was on the Jay Leno show not too long ago, which was a real shock. When I say on, they featured a clip from the Breakfast movie on there, which was just a bizarre thing. The whole thing was really surrealistic.
Seeing her on Jay Leno.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, but it was really cool to have that have made that contact. Those guys are really nice folks over there. And then for whatever reason, she's really popular in Japan, and we've been contacted by a number of Japanese production companies, one of which is planning to use some of the footage in TV production of theirs, I believe, next month. And of all things, production company for the VMA Awards in Brazil, which I think they're called the VMB Awards, are interested in using footage from a few of the videos there for next month's VMB Awards for MTV, which I don't know if that'll go anywhere, but they're interested. So
you are so going to need an agent for her, or I'm sure you are her agent. Oh,
I know, isn't it crazy? A couple months ago, if I was to tell someone I'd be talking about an agent for my dog in a few months, I don't know. I think it'd be crazy, but yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It is, but I love it. So what is next for Ms. Ginger, other than the VMB and being on Leno, and what is the next video? Can you tell us a little bit about it? Is it super duper top secret?
Oh, I don't know if it's all that top secret. We've thrown out a couple of ideas, and this is another cool thing about this, is that the family is all, it's become a great thing for the whole family to get involved in and share ideas and participate in. And we've had some crazy ideas thrown out there, but I think they all revolve around situations that we can put Ginger in and have her be herself. And some of those ideas have included a thing that we call Ginger's finishing school, or something along the lines of a career academy, where it would be a campy take on an old commercial where
I love that.
And we would show her do a host of different things rather than center a movie around one whole thing, or stuff like that.
You guys are really creative, but your background is in marketing, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer in marketing communications, and I don't know. I can't take credit for it really, though, because I have to say it started with Barb, my wife, and everyone has had an equal hand in it. It's just become a really fun thing to be involved in. So
she's so entertaining. Well, I think as we start to wrap up this interview, I think the bottom line is that Ginger truly puts a smile on people's faces. And really, that's what it's all about.
Definitely. That's one of the best things that has ever come out of this. We get emails all the time and messages through YouTube about that very subject, how people have had a down day. A gentleman wrote to say that his elderly father hadn't smiled in forever, and that he watches that movie over and over again and laughs out loud. And classes, teachers that email us and say that they showed the movies in the class in elementary school and things like that, and the kids just laugh, and it's just a great thing. Great thing.
It is. I love the Ginger craze. That's all I can say. It is a craze, and I hope that for you guys, it keeps on coming.
Well, thanks very much, Kelly. Thanks for having me. It's been a joy to talk to you.
Well, you've been a joy, too, and also thank Barb for her creativity, your wife.
I definitely will.
I would like to thank my first guest, Seth Casteel, for joining us, and also Scott Withers. And if you would like to see any of Ginger's acting abilities, you can see them on YouTube, right? Just really all you have to do is just put in Breakfast at Ginger's and they all pop up, right?
That's right. It's crazy. I think even if you type the word breakfast, she's like the third search term down.
Well, more than 3 million hits on the breakfast one.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Scott, thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and that is this edition of Sassy Seniors. I want to thank all of our listeners for joining us, and be sure to join us next week for another edition of Sassy Seniors. Have a good one, everyone, and remember, celebrate your senior pets.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.